I've got one at the house in the garage.
Yeah.
Are we ready? The Planning and Zoning Commission of Gun Barrel City, Texas will meet in a regular meeting in City Hall Council Chambers located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, on Monday, October 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. I need a roll call from my left, please.
Towner here.
Weller here.
Key, present.
Wilmuth here.
We have a quorum. So I will call this meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. Ms. Dillard, do we have any citizens' comments? All right, then moving down to new business. 4A, consider and take action to approve the September 9th, 2024 meeting minutes. We've all had a chance to review them. Are there any amendments, any changes? Hearing none, then I need a motion to approve, please.
Move that we approve the September 9th, 2024 meeting minutes, but as part of the permanent record.
Mr. Key makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Towner, second.
I have a second from Ms. Towner. Any more discussion? Hearing none, vote from my left, please.
Towner, yes.
Weller, yes.
Key, yes.
Wilmuth, yes.
4B, recognition of outgoing board members Roy Key and Paul McCullough. Tonight we say goodbye to two commissioners. The gentleman to my right, Roy Key, has been with us for 1 2-year term. We will miss his expertise. We will miss his legal advice. Most of all, we will miss his thoughtful comments as we move along. I don't know what else to say, except I know he will continue doing his fabulous job on the Economic Development Board, but the commission will miss him. Thank you for your service, Mr. Key.
I was honored to do it. Thank you.
Mr. McCullough is not here, but he was a valuable part of this board as well, and we will miss him. Moving on to item 4C, Associate Judge Grace Wallace will administer the oaths of office and seat newly appointed board members. That will be Ava Towner and Mr. Scott Coleman. If you will follow her direction. Oh.
Do I need to come down there?
Welcome back, Ms. Towner, and welcome, Mr. Coleman. As you notice, those of you in chambers, and I neglected to say thank you to Mayor Kroll for being here. Also, City Manager Angie Smith for being here. You will notice, those of you also viewing now and viewing later, we have some empty chairs. So please feel free to, if you're interested, to submit your application. We certainly want to fill these chairs as quickly as we can. All right then, item 4D, conduct the Planning and Zoning Commission orientation, and I will turn this over to Dr. Smith.
Good evening, everyone. So this is my third time doing a very similar presentation to this, so I have now do the Cliff Notes version, but I'm happy to stop on any slide and you ask questions. I've realized how long it is. So in the past, you guys have done a little different version of orientation where maybe you've come in, you've done your swearing in with Janet. She's gone through a lot of information. We kind of changed that up this year and did group orientations. Sometimes it's better if everybody's in the same room. If you have questions, everybody gets to hear the answers and kind of outline what does P&Z do. In front of you is a packet with some information in it. We worked with the chair and got those put together. Brittany Lewis, your city planner, to get those all put together. Going forward, this will be Brittany up here doing this, but tonight I'm kicking it off the first time just in case there's any questions. So if I can get the clicker to work. It just buzzed at me. Next slide, Janet. So overview, the Planning and Zoning Commission, or the P&Z, as I will call them going forward, in the city of Gun Barrel plays a pivotal role in advising the city council on matters related to planning, zoning, and environmental quality. Comprised of appointed members, the P&Z ensures thoughtful development and preservation of our community's character while fostering sustainable growth. The Gun Barrel City P&Z operates as an advisory body to the City Council, offering recommendations on proposed ordinances, amendments, platting, and subdivision proposals, and the comprehensive plan for the physical development of the city. The Commission's decisions are instrumental in shaping the future of Gun Barrel City, promoting responsible growth, and preserving our community's quality of life. It may be dead. Charter Section 8 or 9 actually outlines the organization, duties and powers, procedures, the master plan. In this case, that is our comprehensive plan. You will each need to familiarize yourselves with this section and how it governs how the Planning and Zoning Commission conducts business. A lot of type, all right out of Duties and Powers, Section 9.02. The commission is responsible to and acts as an advisory board to City Council. What does that mean? Anything this board approves goes directly to City Council or denies goes directly to City Council at the next meeting. Keep in mind, not every city's planning and zoning works the same. So if you watch another city and they're making decisions and council never sees that, know that in some cities, planning and zoning acts as its own board and can make decisions. They're a decision-making board. In Gun Barrel City, you guys serve as an advisory board to City Council, which means it follows your meeting, it goes directly to the next council meeting to be decided on by council. So the commission shall recommend to the City Council proposed ordinances and amendments to ordinances regarding planning, zoning, environmental quality, and review ordinances and amendments proposed by City Council relative to the council's planning and zoning function. Such review and recommendation by Planning and Zoning Commission must be received by City Council prior to action on the proposed ordinance. You receive, review, and approve platting and subdivision proposals in accordance with and as allowed by state law. I believe, Madam Chairwoman, that's over 4, right? Any property platting over 4 lots comes to P&Z. Under 4 lots is approved by staff. And the commission shall have the full power to exercise the authority of the Planning and Zoning Commission as provided by state laws, this charter, and city ordinances, and submit annually to the city manager, and not later than June 1st of each year, a list of recommended capital improvement projects. And that is something that your chair is working on. We just decided to seat an entire board before we formed that subcommittee. Next slide, please, Janet. So the Code of Ordinances, you will want to familiarize yourself with chapters 150 through 160 of the Gun Barrel Code of Ordinances. That is where our land usage comes out of. So when you get a case in front of you, that's where you will go to look for what are the requirements in Gun Barrel by the ordinances. These are available online. If you go to our website, type in Code of Ordinances, it will take you to MuniCode. You can also just go to Google and search Ordinances Gun Barrel. It will take you directly to the MuniCode site, which is really easy to search and look for information in addition. These ordinances and Texas Local Government Code Chapter 211 are the things that you must review as you review any cases that come before you. Pro tip, when you receive your packet, look at the attachments, visit the code, drive by and see the property, email staff with any questions, and then come prepared with questions for the applicant. You can absolutely reach out to me or Brittany prior to a meeting. Say, hey, I got my packet. I don't know that I understand X, Y, and Z. Can you explain to me how that works? You can come by. Brittany will walk you through it, or I will walk you through it. But either one of us can answer questions for you as well. Required trainings. While the Texas Public Information Act is not a required training, I would highly recommend that you watch some YouTube videos on it. There's a billion of them out there. You can watch other people go through that training. It is a very important part of what we do as a government volunteer or as a government employee. Basically, and I'll use this example, if I email Janet and I email Brittany, that information, if it is about the city business, that information is then subject to open records request. So if Kate sends Mike an email and he sends Ava and Scott an email, that then, if it has to do with work, is subject to, whether it comes in on your personal text or your email or anything, is then subject to open records requests. So just keep that in mind. Keep that Texas Public Information Act. Janet manages those for the city. They come into her, and then she would reach out to you and say, hey, I need any text message, Kate, that you sent Ava about this project between these dates. And then Kate is responsible for finding that information and submitting it so that Janet can turn it over. Texas Open Meeting Act, every regular special called meeting of the governing body is open to the public unless we have an executive session. I don't think typically planning and zoning has. I don't know if you've ever had one. I guess you could. I don't know. But we have to keep the doors open. So if somebody starts shutting the door because it's loud in the lobby and you see me start flying, it's because an open door means, hey, we're here, we're open, please come in. A citizen might walk in, see a door shut, and turn around and leave and assume we're having a closed meeting. So we try to keep the door open for that reason. Robert's Rules of Order, it establishes the protocol by which our meetings are conducted. All boards and commissions and city council follow Robert Rules of Order. Again, here there are a million videos out there, Cliff Note versions of Robert Rules of Order. It's how you make motions, it's how you second motions, it's how the vote gets called, and that's how we conduct business. A couple of special notes. A quorum of this board is 4 members of the board. Can we all go to Toys for Tots on Saturday night? Yes, you 100% can all be in that room, and we don't have to be anything special. Just don't talk about city business, right? Can you all be at Applebee's having dinner together? Sure you can. Don't talk about city business. Don't give the public a reason to put in open records requests that then require you to go chase down all that information, right? So that's the best advice I can give you. That's what the open meetings is. Walking quorum is on this board 4 people. So if Kate texts Wilmo and Wilmo texts Ava and Ava texts Scott, you now have basically had a meeting without having an open meeting, right? So the best rule of thumb I can tell you is let me or Brittany serve as your intermediary. If you have something that you have got to get to the rest of the members of P&Z, send them to me, send them to Brittany, send them to Janet, and say, can you please share this with the rest of the board? We are happy to do that. We are not going to filter it. We're not going to delete your name. We're just going to send it to the rest of the board and say, Kate Weller asked for this please to be shared with the board, and we're going to do that. So that protects you from, we're going to blind carbon copy everybody so nobody hits reply all, prevents all the accidental meetings that just happen when you're in a hurry and you're replying to things. P&Z is 7 members, so you currently see you have 4. We have 3 openings. The link is active on our website. If you have friends, please encourage them to apply. It's also, there's a post on our Facebook that encourages people to apply. Council will get those applications and then consider them probably at their November meeting. P&Z holds regular meetings on the second Monday of each month at 6. During October and November, they just happen to fall on holidays, so you will see an item on your agenda tonight where we reschedule that to a different night. Meetings are here at 6 in council chambers. The meetings provide opportunities for members to discuss and advise the city council on planning and zoning matters, ensuring the overall development and environment of our city, and meetings are open to the public. Just as a side note, you will see this many times. Any board or commission member may be removed by the board, from the board, by the city council at will. If you miss 3 meetings, you have automatically forfeited your seat, and that will go to the next council meeting for a consideration item for you to forfeit your seat. City Council did approve an ethics policy in early 2023. Janet and I will make sure that we send you the full ethics policy. A few of the highlights of this ethic policy that apply, all of them apply, but these are kind of the top-notch ones. Be dedicated to the concepts of effective and democratic local government. Serve the best interests of the people at all times. Endeavor to make policy decisions based on factual information. In every city, there is a lot of information that goes out. Let us give you the facts associated with that case instead of believing all of the rumor that goes around town. Avoid participating in any manner that create the appearance of a conflict of interest or unethical conduct. Refrain from activities which may undermine the public's confidence in its representatives. As an appointed official, you should not leverage your position for personal gain or benefits. Keep matters of a confidential nature confidential. These are just a few of the 14 items in the policy, and we are happy to send everyone that policy. How the P&Z works, you have a staff liaison. Typically, it will be Brooke, and I'm at every meeting. Brittany, sorry, that Brooke, that version of Brooke, Brittany, and I am at most meetings. Brittany is just taking over city planning, so she's got a lot of help right now, getting agendas ready and making sure that we have everything we need, but the P&Z works in an advisory capacity to city council, so anything that you need, all you have to do is shoot us an email. I would ask that you copy me. That way we make sure that it gets all taken care of and that we're not directing staff, but we'll make sure that that gets to council in whatever format is best. That is our city council. Brian Kroll is our mayor. April Burns, place 1. Rita Evans, place 2. Rita is the mayor pro tem. Jennifer Jacobs, place 3. Jay Burson, place 4. And Kenneth Foster, place 5. Each year, the commission shall elect from its members a chairman, a vice chairman, and a secretary, and we're going to talk about the secretary role. So the chair has a lot of duties, but their main duty at these meetings is responsible for running the meetings. They also help set the agendas for these meetings. The vice chair steps in if at any time the chair is unavailable for any reason. And while the charter calls for a secretary, I believe in Gun Barrel City several years ago, we decided that the city secretary would actually be the secretary for this board. So Janet, Janet is down here. She's at every meeting. She also then just takes these items and can get them directly on the council. So there's no lapse in time of making sure things that you guys consider gets directly to the city council. 1-year appointments from October 2024 to October 2025. Planning and building staff, you have Brittany Lewis, she's the city planner. Lauren Henson is our new addition at the front desk. She's our permit assistant. Shannon Wiggins is our building official, and you all know me, I'm the city manager. What's your role on the board? So volunteer leaders make recommendations to city council. City council then sets the direction of the organization, and staff is responsible for carrying out that direction set by council. So the council governs and staff manages. Advice, you want something on the agenda, there's something that you really feel like is a hot topic you need to discuss. My best advice is to reach out to your board chair and talk to them. If they're not willing to do it, you're welcome to reach out to me, and I am happy to talk to your board chair as well. But that's a great place to start because there could be some history that even I don't know, right? I've been here a year, but there's some history that maybe I don't even know that whoever the chair is, they can help you get that on there. Don't be a lone wolf. If you have something, you have questions, the best place to be is where you can get everybody on the same page. And if you talk to the chair or I or Janet or Brittany, we can help you build that consensus in order to get something on an agenda to be discussed. And ask questions. There's no way I could stand up here and tell you everything you need to know about every case that might come before you in the next 6 months and the many, many years of history that have happened that might have gotten us to the place that we are today. So if something shows up on your agenda and you have questions, please reach out. We're happy to send out more information. If you ask a question, we're going to make sure everybody gets that information. But reach out, ask questions. We're happy to provide the best answers we can. Keep in mind, sometimes projects change over time. So just because it was one thing 2 years ago, it could be something very, very different by the time it literally lands in your packet in front of you. Being an engaged leader, read your emails, respond to requests. We don't send out too many. We try not to send emails unless we have to, but we do from time to time, and we would just ask that you kind of keep up with those. Review the meeting materials in advance and ask questions. That's the most important thing. Feel free to drive by wherever it is, what the business is, and let us know what questions you might have so that we can prepare the person that's here in front of you with the application as well. Attend board meetings. Sometimes this board does participate in activities and events. Please participate when you guys make that choice to do that. Encourage your circle of influence, and I call that your friend group, whatever they look like. People you work with, people you go to church with, people you play pickleball with, people you play cards with, people you go drink with. Whatever that looks like for you, and encourage those people to give you ideas and information, because really that's why you've been appointed to this board. You haven't been appointed to this board just to give your own opinion, right? You've been appointed by this board, by city council, to talk to people that live here and provide information and get answers for them and provide them good information. Follow through on your commitments, review action items in the minutes. If you see that we missed something, please don't hesitate to say, hey, Angie, don't forget you have to do X. We walk out of here, we come back in the morning and hit the grind 90 miles an hour. So we do miss sometimes, so don't hesitate to shoot us an email and say, hey, you missed this, and then meet and respect deadlines. We don't have too many special meetings for planning and zoning, but we could have one. Just pay attention to that would be awesome. Good governance. These are documents that will make your life as a sitting planning and zoning chairman much easier, or as a board member much easier. Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 211. Gun Barrel City Comprehensive Plan. If you go to our website, in the search bar, type in comprehensive plan, it will pull up our full comprehensive plan, which is really large, so it will take a little bit, and our appendix map. It has maps of our city limits, our ETJ, our CCN, our thoroughfare plan, the whole major thoroughfare plan, minor thoroughfare plan. It has pictures of everything you could ever want, maps in Gun Barrel. Charter, Section 8, which is boards and commissions, Charter Section 9, Code of Ordinances, your land usage code of ordinances, your zoning, all of those things are going to play into every case that comes before you. And then your orientation folder, which Kate gave you, that has some information about what is planning and zoning, right? What do you get to decide? What do you not get to decide? We don't get to tell people what they can do with their land if it's zoned a certain way. If it's not zoned a certain way, we have a little more influence. But if I own a lot right here and it's zone B2 and I'm building a business within those parameters, they can open pretty much anything they want as long as it fits our code of ordinances, right? I don't get to tell Kentucky Fried Chicken they can't open because they're right next to Golden Chick, for example. That's an example. So there are some limits on what we can and can't do, and your code of ordinances and your comp plan are your best resources. And I think that's it. Any questions? Excellent. Y'all know where I'm at. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. I know this is your third of these. One more to go. Board of Adjustment, and we thank you for all that information. And I absolutely encourage our newest commissioner and our returning commissioners, for lack of a better word, do reach out and ask a lot of questions. Believe me, when I first came to planning and zoning, I drove people crazy. They don't mind. Well, they may mind, but they won't tell you. But knowledge is power. Absolutely. So now, item 4E, consider and take action to elect a chairperson. I will not be shy. I will tell you that this is my last this is my last year as planning and zoning chairperson, and in September of 2025, I will have finished my 6 years and therefore will rotate off to planning and zoning to maybe bigger and better, maybe not. But I would certainly like to serve my last year as chair. That being said, I will open the floor to nominations.
I make a motion that we retain Kate Weller as our chairperson.
Towner seconds.
I'm sorry, could we have a discussion before we go directly to vote?
Sure.
I'm just thinking of, and I certainly respect what you just said and the experience you've had while you've been on here, but we have 3 members that are not here today. I would like us to, I think, be inclusive of everyone that's on the board. There's people that are going to be coming on the board that will be here for 2 years. So I was wondering if potentially we could wait until the other members are seated before we elect a president.
I'll have to defer to Janet, our city secretary. I'm not sure we have that option.
I do not believe we do either. We have to seat those 2 positions at the first meeting. So the charter calls for that. Janet and I had this conversation because Kate had brought up the potential to have a subcommittee, and we are going to wait on that. But we do have to, with the 4 that are currently seated, elect a chair and a vice chair.
Oh, that's unfortunate that 3 people will be coming on for a couple years and they don't get a vote, but I certainly understand if that's the way the charter is.
Just for thought purposes, if the commission desired it, could it be revisited, or is that not allowed by charter?
Correct. It is a 1-year term.
Right.
And traditionally, new members don't take on leadership roles right off the bat, from my experience. It's typically someone that has served for a while. I'm not saying that's set in stone, but that is something that normally happens, so, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, no offense at all. It's one of those, if you had somebody that was extremely qualified, like an Ann Mullins or somebody else that came in, or forget that they're even qualified, just so that it can be inclusive, that, 3 people are going to give 2 years of their life just, to this. I just thought it would be nice if they would be able to vote. But I certainly understand that we're not able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, then we have a motion on the floor to reappoint me as chair. We will vote from my left.
Scott Coleman, abstain.
Towner, yes.
Weller, yes.
Wilmoth, yes.
I don't,
I do want to clarify, and I don't care, Scott, but if you abstain from a vote, it is a no vote. So just a heads up for everyone involved. If you abstain without a legal reason to abstain, it is classified as a no vote.
You would need to file a conflict of interest, and I don't think that this would be a conflict in order to abstain.
Okay.
It's been done before, but just to let you know, it is a no vote.
okay, then I believe, that being said, the motion still carries 3-1. Is that, Janet, am I right? Okay, then moving on to 4F, consider and take action to elect a vice chairperson. Ava Towner is currently the vice chair. I make a motion to retain Ms. Towner as vice chair.
Second.
I have a motion by me and a second by Ms. Commissioner Wilmoth. Discussion? Hearing none, then vote from my left, please.
Coleman, yes?
Towner, yes.
Weller, yes.
Wilmoth, yes.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Ms. Towner. 4G, consider and take action to move the regular November 11th meeting to November 18th, 2024, due to the Veterans Holiday.
Madam Chairwoman, y'all can pick a different day. Janet and I just tried to find the next available Monday, much like we did this time, because we thought that was easier for conversation's sake than leaving an open question on the agenda. So if that is fine with everyone, that is the Monday following Veterans Day.
Correct. And we meet the same day as Parks Board, so we try to coordinate both so staff doesn't have to stay 2 extra days instead of 1. So I will ask for a motion, please.
I make a motion that we move the regular November the 11th, 2024 meeting to November the 18th, 2024, due to the Veterans Day holiday.
Ms. Towner makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wilmoth seconds. Any more discussion? I will say that Angie and I have discussed, rather than doing this sort of, oh my gosh, next year, in this year, we'll probably take a look at the January meeting, and if we have to make any adjustments for the entire calendar year of 2025, we will do that in the beginning so people know to plan more in advance. That being said, vote for my left, please.
Coleman, yes?
Towner, yes.
Weller, yes.
Wilmoth, yes.
Motion carries. I now declare this meeting adjourned at 6:32 p.m. Thank you all for coming.